Have you ever wondered why the women who seem the strongest often feel the most alone? Some women walk into a room and everything shifts. Conversations pause for a second. Eyes follow them. Their presence is not loud, but it is undeniable. They build companies, lead teams, raise children, earn degrees, pay their own bills, hold their own pain. On the outside, they look like they have everything. Yet when the lights are off and the day is done, there is a quiet ache that no achievement seems to touch. This is the hidden loneliness of the powerful woman. She is the queen archetype in modern clothes. Not a queen with a crown and a castle, but with a calendar full of meetings, a phone full of messages, and a heart that feels strangely untouched. People admire her. Some envy her. Many want something from her. Very few sit beside her and say, gently, "You can rest now." The world claps for her strength. It does not see the weight of the armor. From a young age, she learned that love and safety come with conditions. Maybe the adults in her life were distracted, unstable, or broken in their own ways. Maybe they praised her when she did well, went quiet when she needed comfort, or exploded when she made a mistake. So she drew a quiet conclusion inside her small, wise heart: to be loved, I must perform. To be safe, I must be strong. This belief grows up with her. She becomes the girl who gets the grades, the woman who gets the promotion, the partner who fixes everything. People call her independent, unstoppable, high value. Underneath those shiny words, a softer truth hides. She does not truly believe anyone will stay if she ever puts the armor down. In Jungian language, parts of her have been pushed into the shadow. Her neediness, her longing, her wish to be held, to be cared for, to be small for a moment. Those tender parts were once shamed, ignored, or unsafe. So she locked them in a deep inner room and put the key under a mountain of responsibilities. On the surface, she became the warrior. Below the surface, the exiled child still waits. When those softer parts are buried, they do not disappear. They live in the dark. They whisper at night. Sometimes they cry through her anxiety, or show up in that hollow feeling after another busy, impressive day. Because they are hidden, they begin to act through projection. People project onto her: she's too much. She doesn't need anyone. She's intimidating. Some see her as a challenge to conquer, others as a trophy to display, others as a threat to their own sense of power. Very few see the human woman behind the story. And she projects too. She projects her own rejected softness onto others. People who show their vulnerability may look weak to her at first. Love that feels calm may feel boring. A partner who is steady and emotionally available may feel strangely unsafe. Only because her nervous system has been trained to mistake chaos for passion. So she is often drawn to what hurts her. To the emotionally distant partner, who echoes the parent who was never fully there. To the charming but inconsistent lover, who ignites the same roller coaster of hope and fear. To relationships where she must earn every scrap of affection by proving, fixing, pleasing, performing. Her body calls this chemistry. Her inner child calls this home. You may notice this in your own life. The people who chase you wildly at first but disappear when you show your needs. The almost relationships that keep you waiting. The ones who love your strength but flinch at your sadness. The ones who enjoy the queen but cannot sit with the child. Over time, a pattern forms. On one side, many are attracted to her image. The competent, magnetic, self-possessed woman who seems to have her life together. They like how she makes them feel about themselves. Standing next to her makes them feel stronger, richer, more important, more alive. On the other side, not many can meet her depth. It takes courage to stand next to a powerful woman without shrinking or trying to cut her down. It takes humility to love a woman who will not pretend to be small. It takes maturity to hold space for both her power and her softness, her success and her tears. Most people have not done that inner work. So they relate to her ego, not her essence. To her mask, not her soul. And she feels lonely, even in love. Society adds another layer. Many men have been taught that their worth comes from being more successful, more in control, more powerful than the woman beside them. When they meet a woman whose success, intelligence, or presence equals or surpasses their own, something inside them trembles. Some try to compete with her. Some try to dim her light with jokes, criticism, or distance. Some place her on an icy pedestal, admiring her from far away but never daring to come close. Others simply walk away, telling themselves she is too much, when secretly they are afraid of their own not enough. So she experiences a strange kind of hunger all around her. People do not just want to love her, they want to win against her, be saved by her, or claim her as a prize. She is seen as an archetype, queen, warrior, boss, goddess, more than as a human being who also gets scared and tired and sad. And then there is her own ego. Her strength has become her identity. The woman who can handle everything. To let someone in, to lean on another person, would mean risking that identity. What if no one catches her when she falls? What if she is judged for needing help? What if love is lost the second she drops the act? So she builds higher walls even as she longs for deeper intimacy. She tests people. She waits to see if they will stay through her moods, her silence, her I don't need anyone persona. Many do not. That only reinforces the old wound, see? It's safer to stay alone at the top. In Jungian terms, she is on the path of individuation, the hard, holy journey of becoming who she really is, beyond roles and masks. On this path, the road naturally narrows. The higher the mountain, the fewer people breathe at that altitude. Some loneliness is not a punishment. It is a sign of growth. Stoic wisdom whispers to her, you cannot control who understands you, who chooses you, who stays. You can only control what you choose, what you tolerate, how you respond. This wisdom invites a new kind of power, quieter than ambition, stronger than performance. The power to remain rooted in self-respect, even when others misunderstand. The power to walk away from what hurts, even when it is familiar. The power to stay open-hearted, without begging anyone to love her. At some point, the pain of self-abandonment becomes greater than the pain of solitude. She begins to turn inward, toward the places she has avoided. In the quiet of her room, or in therapy, or during long walks alone, she meets the shadow she once feared. She sees the little girl who learned she had to be impressive to be chosen. She notices how that child still lives inside her. Still trying to earn love. Instead of shutting that child up, she listens. You were never too much, she tells that younger self in her mind. You were never supposed to be their parent. You were never responsible for their chaos. You were always worthy, before you did a single thing. These are not just pretty words. They are acts of emotional rebellion. With each moment of honest feeling, with each boundary kept, with each day she chooses rest instead of proving herself, a new pattern starts to form. She no longer uses work, status, or relationships as bandages over the wound of unworthiness. She starts to feel her own enoughness, even without applause. As this inner work deepens, attraction begins to change. People who only want the image of her, the high-achieving, never tired, always giving version, start to feel less interesting. The drama of half-love and almost commitment loses its shine. Calmer, kinder connections begin to feel more magnetic. She notices the ones who listen more than they speak. The ones who are not scared by her sadness. The ones who do not need to control her light, because they have built their own. The ones who are not seeking a savior or a trophy, but a partner. You might feel this shift in your own life. The same behaviors that once kept people close now feel heavy. The same roles that once made you proud now feel like chains. The same type of partner that once thrilled you now simply exhausts you. This is not you getting old or losing your spark. It is your soul refusing to repeat the same old wound. There is a new kind of freedom that waits on the other side of that loneliness. A freedom built on inner sovereignty, not outer validation. A freedom where love is no longer a prize you win by sacrificing yourself, but a mirror that reflects the love you have already built within. In this freedom, she no longer begs to be understood. She expresses herself clearly and lets people fall away if they cannot meet her truth. She no longer shrinks to fit small rooms. She chooses spaces that can hold her full size. She no longer chases those who are unsure. She lets their confusion be their own teacher, not her problem to fix. Loneliness begins to change flavor. It is no longer the sharp sting of being unseen while surrounded by people. It becomes a softer solitude, a quiet room inside her where she can hear her own thoughts, feel her own heart, meet her own gaze without flinching. From that inner room, she moves differently in the world. She can sit at the head of the table and no longer feel the need to prove she deserves the chair. She can say no without explaining 17 times. She can say yes to love without collapsing into it. Her worth is no longer up for negotiation. And something beautiful starts to happen. When a woman stops needing the world to tell her she is enough, the world's opinion loses its power over her. She is still open to connection, to romance, to deep partnership, but she is no longer starving for it. And people can feel that difference. Healthy hearts are drawn to her peace. Unhealed hearts may be repelled by her boundaries. Either way, her center stays steady. This is the hidden reason powerful women feel lonely, not because they are too much, but because the world has trained them to hide their truest selves and love from a place of fear. When that training is undone, when the shadow is met, when the inner child is held, the loneliness transforms. The powerful woman was never meant to live on a cold, isolated throne. She was meant to stand rooted in her own worth, walking among others as an equal, not as a statue, not as a savior, not as a prize. When she finally understands this, something inside her relaxes. The need to chase, prove, explain, perform, impress, falls away like old armor at her feet. She remembers that her value is not given by partners, parents, bosses, or followers. It was always hers. And from that remembrance, she rises in a new way, no longer lonely at the top, but whole where she stands. The most powerful moment in a woman's life is not when the world finally chooses her. It is when she finally, fully chooses herself.